Welcome Pisces, one and all, to my channel. This is Veronica Virgo, and you are currently watching Very Virgoan. I'm going to be bringing you readings for all of the signs, despite the fact that I am a Virgo through and through, hence the name of my channel. But I look forward to doing your very first reading. Tonight I am going to be working from the Mythic Tarot deck. This is a vintage deck that is really hard to find. I bought it in 1990, which reflects a bit on how long I've been around. And it's one of my favorite decks. They came out with a new version of it in 2012. Sorry that my table is shaking, but I have got a kitty butt actually just beside the camera and a kitty butt over here. I have a lot of kitties. You'll see the kitties now and again. You'll get to meet them. Anyway, yeah, they did another version of this deck about 10 years ago, and the art is just, I don't know what they were thinking. Very, very strange art. They changed up the images, and quite frankly, I just don't think it holds up to the original deck. This deck goes for about $200 on eBay, so I could sell it, but I choose not to because it is the first deck I ever bought, so it's near and dear to my heart. So that has been shuffled. We're going to start our reading. What I do for the monthly readings, this is for the month of August, is I do career, finance, health, love, and then I give you a little bit of advice, as well as a couple of oracle cards here, spellcrafting deck, and I have a crystal daily inspiration and some tarot dice to round out the whole reading. So let's get started, Pisces. My mother's a Pisces, by the way, so this is near and dear to my heart. I think that's the second time I've said that. All right. 9 of Pentacles. Wonderful. So it looks like, Pisces, that you may be doing pretty well in your career. You're either making quite a bit that you are able to put back, or that you've left a job with some sort of severance pay or something like that, a little bit of a nest egg that makes you very serene and comfortable in the position that you're in. Maybe you have just found work that is satisfying for you and is actually starting to pay dividends beyond what you've ever made. It looks to me like you are in a pretty good position here with your job. These grapes here on the side show how verdant your life is right now. You're enjoying the fruits of your labor, as it were. Maybe you've retired. Maybe this is your retirement package, and now you can just, take it easy a bit, which is a really nice place to be in this current economy. I will be changing things as I develop this channel in terms of presentation. The cats will never stop, but in terms of presentation, your ability to see the cards and that sort of thing. But you start with where you are, so that's what we're doing tonight. Okay, let's see here. For your finances, the Hierophant. The Hierophant represents like a very traditional, ethical person, which very well may be you, or it could be someone that you're interfacing with in terms of, taking these monies that you have created and investing them or something like that. This is a trusted entity in your world of financial security. Maybe you've taken on a financial advisor, perhaps a man with a beard, but I do want to say, excuse my notifications. My computer's on as well, so it's gonna happen. Anyway, back to this. This could be and I do want to say that I don't necessarily subscribe to gender when I'm talking about the way that entities are presented on my cards. I think there are things like masculine and feminine energies, but not everyone possesses them, and some of them possess both of them. So I just want you to know that I'm not trying to indicate that I have a binary way of thinking. It's just that I talk about the characters as they are presented. And in this way, it is presenting as male, and a centaur is a half man, half beast. So I would say that, in terms of the way that your money situation is starting to look here in August, smooth sailing. Hey, you've got trusted people backing you up and taking care of your finances. So full steam ahead for you, Pisces. All right. Scoot my candle over a little. Actually, I did some readings yesterday, and I think I had a little further back so I could have more room for my cards. Yeah, that's a little better. Thank you. I'm picking up with you, Pisces, so you get to see all the bells and whistles of me trying to adjust. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your health. Okay, well, you were doing really well, Pisces, but there are some problems here with your health situation. Let me just very quickly click on this. So with this card, Pisces, we're seeing someone who is being sort of torn between competing entities in terms of opinion, feeling, advice, wishes, right? You have an authority here that presents as like a kingly, or actually it's an angel. So you could think of it in terms of your guardian angel, if you have those sort of ideas, or you subscribe to that sort of idea, who's not really approving of what you're doing. And then you have the Furies, or the Medusas, I forget what they call themselves when they're the Medusas, probably giving you bad portent. And you're being pulled both directions. You're listening to them, but you're also kind of pushing them away. And what you're ending up doing is you're sort of victimizing yourself, because you're encased in these swords here. So what I feel like is happening here is you might be living in two different ways that aren't sustaining your health. Maybe you're like a mad exerciser, right? And you go to the gym and you do all the things, but you use recreational street drugs. Or, you are a vegan, but you smoke cigarettes all the time, or something like that. I think that's what might be going on here. You need to get a handle on your health. There might even be some mental health issues here, Pisces, that your mind is giving you sort of the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. And you're feeling that pull emotionally, but you're not doing anything about it. That's why you're surrounded by all these swords. So my advice to you is maybe to listen to that angel on your shoulder. Look, I'm no angel, but we do need to listen to our higher selves sometimes. And if we're feeling like how we are treating our bodies is not the most healthful, then we need to do something about it. We need to pull up those swords and step ahead, put all the bad stuff behind us, and maybe grab that angel's hand and take a walk on not the wild side. Okay, so where you're doing really well with your money situation and your financial security, you're not taking care of yourself enough to be able to truly enjoy this. And another thing is, now that we've had the health card come up, I'm wondering if some of you Pisces are not having a drinking problem. Okay? You ever heard the term drinks like a fish? Well, that might be you. And, as someone who's had some issues with alcohol in the past herself, it's a hard habit to break. It becomes your solace, it becomes your celebration, it becomes your pastime, and before you know it, you know, you're 40 pounds heavier and you got fatty liver, if nothing else. Especially if you have addiction in your family, please be mindful of that. I'm not an AA or anything like that, but I've done my own work on working on my addictive habits. And I can say from the other side that you feel so much better when you are taking care of yourself. No one's saying you can't ever have a drink again. No one's saying you can't ever smoke a joint again. But if you're doing illicit drugs that are harming you and probably the people around you, or you are drinking to the excess that you can't even enjoy what you've created for yourself, then what's the damn point, right? What's the damn point? All right, love times. The High Priestess. That's interesting because I actually do know the Greek myth on this one. A lot of these cards, I forget the specific myths that go along with the images, but I do know this one. This is Persephone, and she is the god of the underworld. She has to go to Hades during the winter and be Hades's wife, so like the devil's wife, essentially. But then in the spring, she gets to come out. Her mother is Demeter, if I'm not mistaken. And she, you know, brings everything back to life with the spring, right? And she's holding a pomegranate, which is representative of the, like the poison fruit, if you will, that she has to eat. But these flowers, you know, that come back in the spring, well, she knows she's going to have to descend into the underworld. So they're getting lost and they're faded, right? They're fading out. So she's still royalty, but, you know, she's the devil's wife. And unless you look like Robert De Niro did in Angel Heart, I'm not so sure I'd want to be hanging out with the devil. Now, the card itself often references like wisdom and the unconscious and things like that. But when we're talking about it in terms of love, I have to wonder, Pisces, if you are a female or you identify as female as a Pisces, or if you have a Pisces moon or Venus, if maybe you are kind of being held prisoner by the person you're involved with in one way or another. It could be literally, but it also could be in terms of you feel like you're having to give up some part of yourself to be with this person. Now, if you're male identifying and you have a female lover, you might want to take a look, Pisces, at how you're treating this woman. Are you holding her captive and essentially making her your consort, but, you know, you're off frying other fish when you need to? Are you appreciating all the beauty and royalty that she possesses? Or is she just a possession that you have brought into a devil's bargain and she's giving up at least one half of herself to be with you? I think it's really important to think about that. And one way that you can get a handle on this is you and your partner can get into couples counseling. I know that is anathema to some people. But once we start to uncover our unconscious, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time saying that word tonight, our unconscious motivations and desires when it comes to love, which we are often copying subconsciously, our parents' models or models around us, then you can learn a lot about yourself and the person that's with you, and you can decide whether or not this is a relationship you want to continue. Okay? So I think that's all I'm going to say about that. The lights are dimming in here, so I think Spirit's telling me to move on. Okay, so we've got the overlook, the outlook. That's the word I'm looking for. We're not actually in the shining, hopefully. Let's look at a little advice, Pisces. All right, 9 of Swords. Okay. These bitches are back. These bitches is back. You are not listening to your better angels. Wow, my light is going crazy in here. Can you guys see that dimming? Now, granted, it could be totally prosaic and I just have a bulb going out, but I feel like I'm touching on something really important here for some of my Pisceans. You need to get a handle on your addictions. You need to get a handle on how you treat the people you purport to love. And you need to stop listening to all the voices in your head that are just going to stab you in the back and steer you wrong. Look at this. You're driving yourself fucking crazy. You might need to get into a literal treatment center if you have severe drug addiction or alcohol addiction. At the very least, Pisces, I think what would help you, because you're a very watery you're a very watery sign. You tend to sort of swim in the seas of unconsciousness. So staying high or drunk is kind of natural to you. Plus you have a martyrdom complex. See, I told you, I know a lot about Pisces because my mom's a Pisces and I love her, but I also know her tendencies. And I'm sure she had plenty to say about my Virgoan tendencies, right? And, you know, my mom never had a substance abuse problem, but I'm saying, like, with you kind of living under the surface, as it were, swimming in those waters of eros, abandon, you know, sort of self-involvement, quite honestly, you're very prone to addiction. You know who was a Pisces and an addict? Kurt Cobain. Okay, I kind of feel like that's all I need to say to some of you, some of my fellow Gen Xers. My advice to you, get into counseling for yourself if no one else. No one has to know if you're freaked out about people knowing, but there's no shame in that game. I have been in therapy for the better part of 30 years, and it has done nothing but help me. You need to get rid of these snake women, okay? All these snake women hanging around you, these might be other bitches. And they're causing you to not appreciate this person that you're taking advantage of. Okay? Whether you're a male or a female. I'm really serious. This is actually, it's hurting my throat to tell you this. And I think there is some reason for this because I know a Pisces this is probably very appropriate for. Okay? So it's personal, but at the same time, this is a collective reading. So I know this person isn't the only one who's dealing with these demons. All right, that's my advice for you. So let's take it a little further. Let's look at your pink opal crystal. That's lovely. It looks a whole lot like sunstone. It says, be kind to yourself. Okay, that's a message for me too, because I was beating up on you a little bit there, Pisces. Don't forget in this healing that you need to do, find you an angel who's an MSW. Find you an angel who's a clinical psychiatrist, or I'm sorry, clinical psychologist. Okay, psychiatry is more for medication and like medical, you know, like actual brain issues, which, you know, you very well may have because your head is hurting a lot. But I'm thinking, start with a psychologist, start with a master's in social work. Feel free to stop by your nearest occult store, pick yourself up some pink opal, nice smooth round stone like that fits real nice in your hand. And every time you're feeling this cray-cray, grab that and say, I need to be kind to myself. I need to not stop by the bar on the way home and get absolutely wasted and sleep with a stranger and not call this person for a week. I need to be kind to myself. Maybe drink a coffee or some, you know, sport water or something. You know, get some exercise, take a shower, and get myself into therapy, because that is being kind to yourself, my friend. That is being kind to yourself. Now, if you are a witch or you're an aspiring witch or you're just interested in how spells work, I also have Those were both pre-shuffled, by the way, but for some reason I feel like I want to shuffle this spell casting deck. So I'll talk about the image first, and then I'll read the actual spell that goes with these cards, which is fun, and you are welcome to use it. If you'd like to do the spell, you can use my reading of it, or you can play it back and write it down and do it yourself, or you can just listen as an aesthetic sort of activity. Okay, so your card is prosperity. Now this is interesting because you had these like positive cards about your financial situation. But now that we've kind of looked at all the cards together, and that while you're doing well in the career and finances arena, you're kind of hurting in the health and relationships arena, I'm wondering if you aren't maybe a little too focused on material things. You're dazzled by the chink of the, of the coins in the casino, and the sparkly of all the like pretty things, right? And there's nothing wrong with being prosperous, but is the money that you've made, does it feel like true abundance? Does it feel like you're prosperous in a way that's meaningful? That isn't just buying things for your house, but is helping other people. Does that even occur to you? So let's take a look here at the prosperity spell and see what it has to say. Fortunately, these are alphabetical, so I can look it up pretty fast. All right. Here are the magical meanings. Stop focusing on money. You'll be supplied with what you need. There you go. I could almost stop there, right? You've already laid your nest egg, but stop focusing so much on just being wealthy and focus on the wealth of health, the wealth of relationships, genuine relationships, okay? Not just strangers passing in the night. Be careful what you wish for. A lucrative deal is on offer. Understand the law of attraction. I'm not crazy about the law of attraction, but I do believe in prosperity spells. Maybe I'll make a video about that sometime, because I know that kind of sounds like I'm working at cross purposes there. But if you're really into the law of attraction, think about it in terms of less materiality, material focus, and more about having an abundant life. What does that mean to you? All right, here's the spell. Drop a coin in a jar at dawn on a Thursday during a new moon. Place the jar in a citrine crystal in the wealth corner southeast of a room and say, Jar of prosperity, vessel of wealth. Magical focus heals financial health. Placed within a corner of the room, a coin dropped each day brings miserly gloom. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Placed within a corner of the room, a coin dropped each day breaks miserly gloom. Make wishes and ribbons to tie upon a tree. Relax so money flows in easily. Yellow citrine invites fortune in. So too doth green, I'll wear it to win. Leave your new money jar in the wealth corner to maintain magical prosperity and say, Gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence. So mote it be. Transcendence. That's the point there. Don't just be happy that you got money and that you got a good guy, balancing your books for you. Be happy that you worked hard and you yielded a lot of money, but think about how it serves a larger context. Think about how you, Pisces, can give back. What does that mean to you? Think about it and write some stuff down tonight. I think it could be very useful to you. And I certainly am not trying to be harsh with you. I'm just telling you what the cards say and how I interpret them. And, sometimes everyone needs a little reminding, right? Pisces, I almost forgot your tarot dice. I did the whole ending and then I was like, oh no, I haven't done tarot dice for them. So let's do that real quick. I did put up your oracle cards, but I remember what they were, so if they have any relation to this, we'll talk about it. Okay, Pisces, we have Cancer, 6, 7, and Uranus. So what I'm seeing here is that someone was born in 1967, in 1976, on June 7th, or on July 6th. So if any of that is relevant to you, we're also going to add in Cancer because that's going to fit that birthday, I do believe, for July at least, maybe June too. For Uranus, or Uranus as some folks call it, that's more, I think. So Uranus represents change, sometimes like transformational, original kinds of thinking. And sort of thinking of that in context of the larger reading, maybe you are going to find a very individualized way of getting yourself out of this feedback loop with the women and the substance abuse. So I am talking to very specific Pisces here, but Pisces are, I mean, I have some of the best conversations I have with Pisces. I've known 3 or 4 in my lifetime. We have great conversation. You know, Gemini and I do as well, but Pisces tends to be very, has a lot of emotional sort of content. So I'm thinking that if you put your mind to it, you're going to be able to find a creative way of getting yourself out of these situations and elevating yourself to a higher place of existence and of being with others. You're going to stop hiding on what you feel like is higher planes, but you know, you pull off the mask and this is what you get. It's just darkness. So think about that, and hopefully these tarot dice have helped solidify some of the stuff that I've brought to you. Okay, that is it, Pisces. I hope that you enjoyed my reading, or at least found it informative and useful. Please feel free to comment, like, subscribe. I would love to have you as a regular viewer, and I will see you very soon.